Change Around Studio 3. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the Saturday Morning Board Game Show. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. We've got a bunch of great games to show off today, the first Saturday of every month. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're looking forward to hanging out with you guys, chatting in the comments, and basically just playing a bunch of games today. Before we jump into it, we always like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Kevin, give them a shout.
So we have The Op, we have Burnt Island Games, and Kids Table Board Gaming, you know. And then we also have The Good Game Company.
We might be playing a couple of those today.
We will. We'll show some of them off in today's show.
Okay, well, let's jump over to the table. Got a good start. I'm getting it right to start off with. The boys have a game over there they want to tell us about.
Hey guys, over on the table, we're checking out Hero Hockey from Asmodee. It's a two-player competitive game.
And you're trying to hit the ball into the other person's goal.
Yeah, so this game is very easy to set up and play. It's very easy to set up. So first, you just put these two slider pieces in to the hole so it stands up like the board. And then you have your magnet here that hooks onto your character so you can move it around, which moves your guy on the board. So we're going to go to 5 points, and let's see who wins there. Let's ready. Then you can start us off. Let's go. First goal.
1 point.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing good already. Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Oh
two.
my goodness.
I'm very good at this.
This game is good. Going to go.
Oh, and by the way,
I'm so
if you fall into your own goal, oh wait, I need to put my score tracker up to 3. And if you fall into your own goal like this, or I don't know how you do that. Wait,
Like
this
you
doesn't
just,
count
like-
just for timeout. If you fall into your own goal like that, then they get a point.
Or if you do, and you go over
Yeah, if you
the
go
line.
over the line. Okay,
Okay.
you start 3-0.
Yes!
Okay,
Oh,
so we got 1.
Wow, 1 point. Oh.
Well, that was a close one. My guy almost just went in. My past the line.
No.
Back in. Back in.
No. No. No.
Yeah! Okay,
I don't know,
4 points, 4-1.
Okay, ready?
I need 1 more point.
Yes!
Okay,
Oh,
then
finally.
it's a 2.
Like 2.
Okay, ready? 2-4. Center needs got to get all the rest. No! I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, it's 3-4.
Okay.
I'm catching up. I was at like 1. What is that?
If Lander scores, how? It went out of the goal. No. No!
We're tied.
We're
No
tied.
way.
How? Okay. I'm gonna win it. Yeah.
No!
Okay, that is Hero Hockey from Asmodee. Let's head over to the couch.
All right, so back over here, the Meadows are dominating the show this morning. Don't worry, we'll give somebody else some FaceTime pretty soon. But first, me and Lincoln are going to look at and give you guys a peek at the game Smart 4 from Geiger Games. It's a 3D strategy board game.
We're playing this game because we're both smart.
That's right, playing the smart peoples over here. Yeah, you guys can just stay over there. All right, so the way you play this game is actually pretty slick. It is, as you can tell, electronic. It's got some cool stuff going on. You can play a couple different game modes. I think we just connected to the app, which is pretty cool. Maybe we'll skip that for a second and we'll just play a game.
Yeah.
But it does have an app which comes with it, which is pretty slick, and you can play against the computer using that.
Or you can log in and friend people that have the game and you can play against them.
What? I didn't even know that. That's incredible. Okay, so I think we're gonna hit this button hopefully to start. I might have to turn the app off unless we want to we'll play with the app first to show you how it works, and then we'll play against each other. So you hit the little smart game. You pick your color. Go ahead, Lincoln. We'll let you play.
All right.
You register where you're playing, and then it shows you where to put the opponent's piece at.
You play the black person.
Okay. Then you place yours.
Oh yeah.
These guys are like I don't know what's in them, like little magnetic-y pieces that register on the board so you know where you've stacked them. You can also, in the game, maybe Lincoln will do it on his turn because he's definitely going to get blocked by the smart AI. You can stack your blocks as well, which is kind of cool. So you can play this by yourself. I'm obviously playing the black pieces. I don't need to. Lincoln could do that. It's going to show him where to light them up at and where to put them on. Ooh, he's going right there. Go ahead and do it. And as Lincoln said, you can also log into the app and play with your friends, which is pretty slick. And then, of course, you can play against each other. So after Lincoln beats this AI with his incredible smart brainness, we'll maybe play a little versus game. This game has been played a lot since we got it just a little bit ago.
Oh, I might not.
Is he stacking it?
I might not push my piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going over here. The AI on here is tough. Honestly, Lincoln is doing good fighting it because there's no like level.
I won!
Did you win?
Yes!
Good job. That's the first time I've won. Way to be smart. You claimed it. The AI on here is like perfect logic. So unless you create the perfect setup, it's very, very hard to beat. We have not beat it yet. So Lincoln just crushed it in front of a live studio audience.
I think I know why I won. Because he was going here because he might have blocked me from doing a 4.
Oh, had a double 4. You had him either way.
Yeah.
Bravo. Excellent. All right, you want to play one time?
Yeah.
So we'll turn the app off. Are you black or white?
I'll be black.
Okay. And I'll tell you white. All right, so I think I have to probably disconnect the app.
Yeah.
Which is pretty easy. It just has like a cool little Bluetooth thing, and you can change battery level and disconnect. Are you sure you want to disconnect the device? Yep. Okay, so then it resets, and so there's a couple different game modes that you can play in the game, which is pretty cool. This one is the just Connect 4 version, which is the easiest one to play. But there's one where you like try to turn all the lights off. There's one where do you know what the other one is? There's like 3 or 4 different modes you can play, and it's a lot of fun. And the fact that you can stack it and go 4 of a kind is pretty cool too. Did you guys tell them about your the one you guys invented?
So we played a game where you're trying to make the other person win. You're trying not to win, and we got it so you can stack it like 5 blocks tall, and literally all around the board was just stacking.
And then somebody had to win; they had no choice. But it's like lots of stuff you can do with it. Pretty interesting things. Check out Smart 4 from Geiker. All right, let's head back over to the table.
Welcome to the table. I'm Kevin.
I'm Melissa.
And we are talking about Settlement. This is a game from iGames that is for 1 to 4 players. And it is a tile laying game in your own sort of village land. And you're going to be building your settlement up, exploring, encountering monsters, and things like that. Melissa, what can you do on your turn?
So basically, you start with these 6 hot pink, flamingo pink workers that you're going to be using. And then on your board actually is a better shot than my board.
Cool.
So on your turn, you're going to move your workers to one of the actions on
I should totally
side.
do this one here.
So Kevin.
So we're talking like mid-game here.
Yeah, we've already set it up, so there's a little bit of stuff going on. So Kevin's already built some buildings in his village.
Yep.
And he can use 1 meeple to activate the entire row.
So this one says I can spend a crystal.
And you can do them in any order.
I can gain a crystal. And then I can spend a crystal for some goods. Got some clay and some wood and some stone, because you need stuff to, resources to build. And then I can spend a coin for 5 points.
So it goes on your sheet, and at the end of the game, you get points for it. So you're putting the coin on your thing or not?
Yes, I'll do it.
So then it would be my turn, and there are things you can do, like building buildings. You have to pay the resource, and then you can slot them into your board. You can go exploring in these wildlands areas.
Right, that's the top of your board. You have 3 different rows for exploring.
And it takes a different number of meeples depending on how high you want to go.
Right.
You can also battle the monsters. So I could spend 1 meeple for the green.
Up at the top left, it tells you how many meeples it takes to defeat the monsters.
So I could battle this green hog pig thing and get a crystal.
There you go. And I could go and go after this manticore here, and it costs 2 meeples, and I'm going to get gold to do that. So there's things like that. You're going to defeat monsters.
Yeah, and you want to defeat the monsters because if there's a monster on a tile, you can't activate it. So now that I've beaten the monster, I could come here and activate this to get a wood and a crystal. But the monsters are going to come back if those monsters are shown on the cards up here, there is a green and is a blue, so they would come back.
Yep.
There are things you can do building fortresses to put them onto your tiles so the monsters don't reappear.
Yeah.
They're wanting to know if the dragons are in player colors or if they're separate.
These are just to help you distinguish them from each other. They have nothing to do with
They're
player.
different monsters.
They're just different color monsters. Yep.
Yeah, there is no player color. Basically, we're all doing our actions on our own boards. So
you always get your 6 hot pink meeples back.
you can get some
One-time
workers, one-time use workers, the white ones, by doing things. You can collect these, invite heroes into your land by paying the number of resources, and they're going to give you points. The symbols at the bottom are just for when you go adventuring to see what monsters pop out. If I had a tile with a red, a dragon would not come out because it's not shown on the cards right now.
Oh no, that's yellow. And these also, these people here also give you points at the end of the game. So this is all about how to get points. You're gonna get points from these. You're gonna get points from building your settlements, because they will tell you, oh, if like I'm collecting gold here, and for every gold I have at the end of the game, I'm gonna get 5 points. So there's things like that are gonna give you points. There's also variable player powers that change each round.
Yeah, at the beginning of each round, in reverse player order, you take one of these artifacts. So this is like you just get a gold, or when you get a hero, you get a extra worker. You can trade resources. But then when you pass at the end of the round, because you might have more people that you're using, or I might use 2 people at a time to get a tile, so people are going to be ending their rounds at different times. Once you pass, you put back your artifact and take a new one.
Yep.
Well, take a new one and then put yours back.
Yep.
So there is some strategy about when do I want to pass, because there may be an artifact I really want, but if I pass last, it might be taken by somebody else. Or Kevin may have it, so I'm hoping he'll pass first, so he actually puts it back into
there's some
the
pretty
pool.
powerful ones, definitely. And this is a fixed number of rounds in the game. There are 6 rounds in the game, so you definitely know when the game will be over. And if you like tile laying games, worker placement type games, I think you would enjoy Settlement.
Yep. And now we're going to the couch.
Welcome to the couch. Today we're playing Tranquility by Lucky Duck Games and Board Game Hub. It is a cooperative card placing miracle game for 1 to 5 players. You have start cards, finish cards, and then the cards go up from 1 to 80. And how you're playing them on the grid, on your turn, you're either going to play a card from your hand.
These are pulled off, right?
Yeah, those are pulled. Those don't start. You're either going to play a card from your hand, or if you can't place anything, you'll discard 2 cards. So just for example, so you know, the lower numbers are going to start down here, and they go numerically that way, and so you go from 1 to whatever, and then from it'd be like 18 to whatever, and then the 80 will be in this corner.
So we've got, between us, we're going to have to fill up this grid, but we can't lay them in a way that's going to mess up what somebody else has in their hand. So we have to lay down 36 of these cards, and at the end, they have to be in order, and we can't talk to each other about what we've got in our hand.
Correct. So, and if you do happen to place a card down, for example, if I have a 7 is down and I'm going to place this 9 down next turn, you have to discard whatever the number difference is. So in this case, it'll be 2 cards. The game ends in one of 2 ways. This 36 cards are all laid down, and the next person puts down the finish card in this corner, or this deck is depleted and no one can play a card. If you do happen to have the start card in your hand on the beginning of your turn, you have to play it. Whoever has it first has to play it. And between everyone, we have to discard 8 cards from our hand.
Woo!
So that's
a lot of cards.
So you really have to manage how many cards you're discarding versus where you're placing things. So it's all very silent.
And there's no restriction on how you can place these cards down.
Only
so I could put a 20 up in this corner, but then I'd restrict everybody.
Yeah,
that would definitely be immediate loss. But I can like put this out in the middle if I want.
Correct. And when you discard your cards, you are putting them face down. So you have to remember what cards you're discarding because you'll never see those again in the game, and you won't know what your other players are discarding either. So they recommend that this game is best played silently because you're not supposed to give any communication at all. But Larry, did you want to start? Okay.
7
and then you're going to draw back up to 5 cards in your hand.
So, oh, well, the discarding isn't so bad. I was thinking the discarding would be pretty bad, but if I have like the 79, I can just discard it now.
Correct. It's now useless in the game.
I just have to find a way to discard it.
I will say the first time we played, we did not realize this was a limited resource, and we still did fine.
Okay.
It's just trying to manage how many you're discarding.
Okay, I'm gonna play the 20.
Remembering where and then
Yeah.
then draw back up to 5.
Okay.
And then since you've already saw this, I'm going to place that one. So one game I played this, we did nothing in the 20s.
Really?
However the other players decided to play, we just basically skipped the 20s completely. And we still did just fine. So yeah, so in the beginning, it is definitely best to spread things out. But you have to play with the cards you got. So I'm going to place this here.
Larry, stop making that noise every time somebody plays a card.
Okay, so now you place it next to it, so you have to discard 1 card.
Before he redraws.
And face down, and then draw back up to 5.
Okay. And then, I will play this one here. It's next to that one, but not in the same row.
It has to on either side.
Okay, okay.
And
I'm just making sure I'm not doing
and
anything
just
crazy.
be careful.
Well, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I'm gonna do it right there.
Yeah.
No.
So this one's a really good example. So I'm going to play the 17. It's between the 16 and the 20s. You're going to discard the lower numbers. So I'm still only going to have to discard 1 card.
The lower card or
the
like
lower cost.
the lower cost.
So
okay.
So I could either discard 3 or 1.
Yeah.
I'm only going to discard 1.
Okay.
But then draw back up to. Did you draw back up to 5?
Nope.
Nope, I sure didn't.
You said I have to play this card?
If you have the start card, you have to play it. It goes down here in this corner.
Oh, and we have to discard 8
and
among us?
Now between, hold on, I gotta go back up to 5. Between all of us, what you can say is, I am willing to discard how many cards, and that's the only
0.
thing we're allowed to communicate.
I can discard maybe 2.
I could discard 3.
3.
So I can discard the remaining 3, right? So
Yeah.
that's 8, 3, 3, and 2.
Sure. why
Okay, so I'm gonna discard those.
All right, there's my discard. And then basically we just play through the game, hoping that we make it
So
to
I don't play.
But you will redraw back up to 5 cards.
So that is
Winning.
they're ready
Yes.
at the table. So that was Tranquility by Lucky Duck, and we are ready over at the table, and we'll give it over to them.
You're really close.
Hello! We are here at the table. Melissa is finishing setting up Picture Perfect. Hannah's gonna come join. You can sit right here, Hannah.
Thank you.
And this is a game where you are trying to set up your
Oh, you
area.
can't sit there because you said we wouldn't have someone tall sit there. Do you want to switch?
That's fine, I can do this.
We had this whole conversation about, we can,
Actually,
no
you know
one
what?
will.
Guys, I need to go set up the next game, so you can leave it alone. That's fine. Bye, I'll be setting up
Bye.
another game.
Here, can you get around?
Yeah, I can go this way.
Okay. All right.
Kevin just messing things up. All right, so Picture Perfect. Basically, we each are trying to arrange our characters and people decorations to take a picture. And we have things things that the people want to do in these secret envelopes.
Yep.
Person that have been shuffled and secretly put into these envelopes, kind of like Clue maybe.
Yeah.
And in a 3-player game, each of us has 4 envelopes that we start with, and we can see what people want. There are 2 envelopes at the table, and over the course of several rounds, I believe it's 3 or several, we'll just say several rounds.
Yep.
There are going to be cards that then tell us to swap envelopes with other people or put ones out in the middle. So the information is going to start being shuffled around, and you have to remember, oh, this person, and I'll just give you an example. During a game, this would be secret information.
Right.
But I have the little corgi person.
Which is... Where's my little...
The
there
little
you go.
dog.
There's the little dog.
And he says, I want to stand next to a certain guest. So he wants to be next to the person with the wheelchair. He wants to stand in the middle, so he needs to be in the highlighted section. And then he wants to make sure no one sees the face of the kind of the maid girl.
Yes. So you might want to...
So as I'm arranging my things, I'm going to try to keep all of that in mind as I look through, and he's kind of short, so it's going to be hard for him.
So I would put
to,
I'd put the
cover
maid
the
behind
maid.
the wheelchair maybe, or you do something later. The biggest thing with this game is you're going to get conflicting information. You're not going to be able to fulfill all the wants and wishes for every single player, and that's very frustrating for someone who wants the puzzle to fit completely. But
So at the end, after all the rounds, you actually take a picture of everything set up, and I think Kevin actually set up a very nicely
Yes,
here with a bunch of the
perfect.
people. You can decide how many of the people you actually put into the picture at the end of the game. Then you take your phone and take a real picture, and that's how you can kind of get people to hide other people's faces, things like that, because depending on the angle of where you take the picture, it will, things will be in front of other people.
right.
And then you score. If you have a person on your board and they meet all of the requirements, you're going to get 6 points. If they meet 2 of the requirements, 3 points, 1 point. But if you have someone on your board and it doesn't meet any of the criteria in their envelope, you're going to lose 3 points. And that did happen to some of us because, I know that the wheelchair guy, the guy in the wheelchair needs to be next to the dog, but maybe I never saw his envelope, so I don't know what he needs. So I put him in to help one of my other characters, but then didn't end up scoring any of his things.
Yeah, I might have gotten 6 points from him, but I ended up losing 12 because he ended up getting negative points from other things. So it's really fun mechanic that you might not want to use all your people.
Now I do want to mention that these accrue an additional standees. Well, they're gonna have
A stand.
a stand,
Yeah.
but they are cardboard standees that come in the game with the base components. It's for 2 to 4. It sounds like they may have an expansion or intending to have an expansion count. But really interesting kind of deduction game with trying to remember all of the things.
They're asking if it'd be good for family play.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely for families, but not maybe real young kids.
Right. The cards do have text on them, and it's secret. So you would need to make sure that the children know how to read and can understand the instructions, because you would either need someone not playing to help them read, because they can't just be like, oh, what does this card say? Because then the information would be...
The box recommends 10 plus, but I think you could go 7 or 8 depending on your child.
Yeah, so at the end of each round, you're going to draw a card, and it's going to tell you things like... and this was, 2 players, 3 to 4. The instructions are different there. Players take turns in a clockwise order, beginning with the starting player. Active player takes any 2 envelopes from the middle of the table. Active player then returns any 2. So the cards are going to tell you how to shuffle up clue. If you can sometimes give people information you know they already have. So if Hannah passed me this dapper gentleman in a previous round, and then I have to pass to the left, instead of giving her an envelope that I know she hasn't seen yet, I could potentially pass that back to her. So then she's not getting any new information.
Yeah, it's important to remember what you've seen, and it's a really good idea to try to keep at least one of the envelopes where you never have to pass it to anyone else, and that will potentially make them have negative points later.
So that is Picture Perfect. It's Arcane Wonders is the company that's bringing it to the US. I know they showed it off at Gen Con and I think Essen, and it was very popular. Very interesting spatial mechanics,
Definitely.
a little bit of deduction. So I've enjoyed my plays of Picture Perfect. And now we're going back to the couch.
Welcome back. We are talking about a game called Marvel Dice Throne. This is actually a prototype that's currently on Kickstarter right now from Roxley Games. So you can actually check it out if you want to see more information. We're going to just briefly give you an overview of two of the characters. We have Captain Marvel, Black Panther. They have Scarlet Witch, and they have Doctor Strange, and they have a whole bunch of the other Marvel characters that are on the Kickstarter that you can get. I think they've already raised $1.6 million.
Wow. That's pretty good.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they're doing well. If you are familiar with Dice Throne, you're going to recognize a lot of what's going on in the game. You're going to be rolling dice, and you're going to be activating an ability that's on your character, basically battling the other person. So, have you ever played Dice Throne before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, what you're going to do, Larry, roll the dice.
Roll.
All right, then you're going to look, and you're going to say, oh, I've got which ones,
Blues and yellow.
right? So you can do Yahtzee style and roll your dice up to 3 times. So you can pick a. Oh, I see you cheating there.
Woo, quick.
So you're gonna keep those. You can
You
only
get my
activate.
brain
You can only
didn't
activate one ability on your turn.
Okay.
So is that what you want to do, or do you want to keep rolling and try for something different?
No, I'll do that.
All right. So you're gonna gain your vibranium suit, which is you're gonna activate it up there, and 3 kinetic energy.
Boom.
Boom, boom, like that. So that's your turn.
I'm so strong.
Yep. And then at the beginning of my turn, I didn't tell him this, but the first person that goes doesn't get their income and stuff like that.
How rude.
No, that's fine. So, so basically, on your turn, you're going to collect income. You're going to collect more cards that you have in your. Oh, I should mention the player trays are very, very nice. These, I believe, are game trays. Let me double check. Yep, game trays. They do a good job with their inserts, and they have a place for the cards and for the dice and all the different tokens and stuff like that. But basically, you're trying to whittle the player's health down to 0, and whoever can do that first wins the game.
You're at 12. I'm at 99.
This is not the Larry and Larry show.
You got a lot of work to do.
But yeah, all the cards, basically variable player powers, so all the cards can do different things. There's one-time use cards. There's ways to actually upgrade the actual abilities of the players so they can do better stuff, things like that. If you want to watch a playthrough, we've done that on our channel already, but check it out on Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
This
Did you lose?
Melissa did beat me.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Maybe.
But yeah, I do want to mention that there is a giveaway on today's show. Yes. So,
Giveaway.
thank you. So last Saturday we mentioned that we were going to do a giveaway of some of these dice trays. Here's one already
nice.
made up.
Cool.
So if you like dice games, or if you just have games that use
For
dice,
Dice Throne. Boom.
there you go. For Dice Throne.
Got it.
Perfect. So you actually did pretty good there. If you can
Ooh.
roll a panther, I'll let you do it. If you can roll a panther, you can do a triple threat.
No.
Oh well, you get one more try. One more try. Can you roll it? This is my. I couldn't ever roll it.
Oh.
You have to roll it in the dice. Try.
Oh.
Nope, still didn't do it. I couldn't get the. But if you can ever roll your ultimate power, they're amazing.
5 panthers.
This is basically rolling 5 6s. Melissa was able to do hers 5 6s and did this huge ultimate blast on me. It really decimated me. So anyway.
I think it would barely hurt me. I still have 99 life.
Anyway, for these dice trays, what you can do, dice bowls. What are these?
Dice squares.
Oh. What you're gonna do is comment in today's show. Share this around on the internet so people can come join us. And then at the end of the show, we will give away 4 of these to 4 different people.
4 different people.
4 different people.
Okay.
4 winners. So, anyway. Are we ready back at the table?
Yep.
All right.
They got some nice buns over there.
Yeah.
Yes, so we are here with nice buns. This is specifically about like the Asian dumplings. They are, it's actually like this cute little game. There's like this cute little bag and there's these cute little bun tokens in here. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but they've got little faces too.
They do have adorable little smiley faces.
So what we're trying to do on this is we're trying to do a set collection. We need a set of 3 of each color bun to win the game. There's also yellow, although it didn't come out in our random setup.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is the first player is roll the 3 dice.
Ooh.
Now they each do different things, and this is going to be a I divide, you choose situation.
Okay.
So this is the amount of buns that will get drawn from the bag.
Okay.
And they get placed in front of you, not on your plate, but in front of you.
Okay.
And then this is the 2 colors that are available to be taken from the tray, if available.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one will tell you a special thing that you can do that interacts with the other player. This is
Okay.
specifically steal a bun.
Ooh. Oh, it's
So-
not sunglasses. It's a little.
It's like a little
bandit.
robber's mask.
Okay.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm getting to choose how I want these
And
divided
you
up.
can.
And I think I'll do these 2 with this one.
Okay.
And then you'll get first choice
So
of which set of dice you want.
Okay.
So this is draw 3 randomly from the bag. And this is there's not a yellow one, so they'll be drawing a blue and then stealing one from me or you.
All right. So it's basically either I can get 2 or I can get 3.
Yes, but this
it'll
one,
be.
this one was, you'll get a blue and then
You'll
you'll
know.
get.
Well, it's the beginning of the
either
game,
blue.
so I want to take 3 from the
Okay,
bag.
3 from the bag.
All right.
Now, with drawing from the bag, there's a little bit of
Oh no.
a chance of getting something you don't want.
Okay.
See, okay, so she did fine. She got a yellow one. There are white buns in here that represent stinky fish head buns.
Ooh.
And they mess up your other buns.
Okay.
They basically become a part of a set. They never allow you to actually move them to your plate. So
it's okay later in the game.
So I get to take a blue one from the tray, and then I get to steal one. I will steal your blue, and then I'm going to move these all to my plate where they are now safe from tampering.
Okay.
So nothing can happen to my little blue buns now since they're on my plate.
And then I'm rolling.
It'd be your turn. So this is a player count that goes from 2 to 6. So with that one, it would be these 2 people interacting, and then the next 2 people using the dice, and then the next 2 people using the dice. Going
Okay.
around.
So
Like that.
if I would roll, I would now be interacting with the person to my left.
Right.
Okay.
So that's how it is. Now you get to split this up.
And so I have to do it either this way or this way?
Or
can I do the big
that
one
way.
with the little one?
Yeah, you can.
And then what does the dumpling
This is
swap mean?
swapping one of yours for one of somebody else's, as long as it's not on a plate.
Okay. Then I will do it this way.
Okay. I will take this one.
Okay, and then I will have this one.
All right, and it's important to note that the dice are resolved in the order of size, starting with the smallest. So I take one from the bag first.
And if you got a white
yellow one.
And if you got a white one, it would have to go with your green one.
It would have to go with my green one. So now I get to take a blue and a green. And I get... No, that's all I get.
And so this
Now-
one, I can swap one of these for one of those.
No, you swap with one of mine. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I will give you a red, and I will take your green, and now I have 3 green, and I can move that
Yes.
up.
It's important to note, too, that I think don't remember if I said this, but you can have too many of a dumpling type, and then it all goes back in the bag. So you kind of bust. So if you get more than 3, you have to throw them all back in the bag.
But that'd be fine if you had a white dumpling.
Well, if you had a white dumpling, it counts towards your biggest group.
Okay.
So if you already have 3 green,
Uh-huh.
and you draw a white dumpling, it goes with your 3 green, and it gets all tossed back in the bag.
But if you somehow made your blue big, then you could get rid of it. That's how
Right.
that's the only way to get rid of the white dumplings.
Right, is to discard them. So
Okay.
you really don't want the white dumplings.
Got it.
There's not as many white dumplings in the bag as there are other colors. But this is actually like a really cute game. There's tons of cute illustrations, and it says 10 plus on the box. I'm not sure why, because I feel like this could be played by a lot younger children, especially since there's not really any reading involved. So this is overall just very cute, really nice components. So if you're interested, check out Nice Buns. And I think we're ready at the couch.
Hey, we're back at the couch, and we're going to talk about 2 things while we're here. One of the things we're going to talk about in a second is the Goonies game. But before that, we're going to just show off some game supplies that GameGenics sent on to us. They sent us some card deck holders and a dice tower and some card sleeves, which are pretty nice. This dice tower was a little tricky to get together, but it's kind of cool because it spirals, and each of the steps just sort of drops, sets it onto the next step. So I'm just going to show you this.
If you decide to get this game tower, you can email us, and I will give you tips on how to make it easier for you. Specifically, it's a little bit hard to take the clear, there's like a frosted protective layer on each piece, which is really nice because then they're all like really nice and not scratched when they come to you. But they are a little hard to get off. I figured out a secret.
Yeah.
So if you decide to do this, you can email us and I'll tell you that secret.
I'm going to roll. Here we go. You can put it on either side, and it just sort of sets it down, drops from one to the next. It is the quietest dice tower I've seen. Just because they aren't actually falling. They're like sliding from one to the next one.
All right. So
And then here's one of the deck boxes. So it's got this magnetic top to it, and you can actually take that and let's see if I'm doing it right. You can kind of go like that with it, and then it just sort of supports it, maybe. So you can pull out from there at an angle. So that's cool with the Squire. And then this one is the Stronghold, and it's got 3 of those.
oh, interesting.
So just pulling those off. So you can
they're
have
all
it.
magnetic.
Yeah, they're all magnetic. They feel really nice. It's like a, what do you call it, suede leather. There's like a little tray you can put stuff in.
Oh, like your dice and
yeah,
stuff.
and then 2 card boxes. And then you can actually, I don't know if I can set it up like they had it, but
You can build something.
Yeah, you can do this thing.
There are instructions that Ryan is
on
sort
the
of
back of
looking
the
at.
box, you can do this thing with, it's like this, and
Well, while he's
That.
building that, we have the monster one.
somehow it like sets it up so you can prop
Have
it
it
up.
supported.
I can't figure it out, but it's on here. It looks really neat. Oh, and then the big one is
So the lid becomes a giant dice tray.
the game layer. The lid becomes a giant dice tray, and then you've got several cool aspects of this. Let me stop fiddling with that. So you've got like you can put cards in this area here or something here, but you've got 2 little magnetic flaps that come down, and they even have on them embossed, or I don't know what that's called, stitched cards and dice. So here you have some trays you can put your dice in, on the dice side, and then you can put some cards on the other side. If I can figure out where that is. Oh, and yeah. That is GameGenics game supplies. Check them out. Looks like it's high quality.
I don't think we have sound right now.
Maybe.
Nobody's listening.
Do we have sound? Yes. Okay, well, Ryan's going to go switch because Kevin needs to set up the next game. And I'm guessing that these boxes are especially people who do RPGs and a lot of card-based
or like
games.
Magic the Gathering or something where you have just a bunch of cards that you need to sort out. So.
All right. So Gamegenic has a bunch of these things. Ryan's gonna go back, so Kevin, who has been switching, can go set up the next game.
I'm set up.
Oh wow, amazing!
So fast. It's like
All right.
magic.
So we are looking at The Goonies Escape with One-Eyed Willie's Rich Stuff. This is in the Coded Chronicles line from the Op, and the Op is one of our sponsors, so we wanted to highlight this game. I actually have a how to play video on the channel for this, so that goes into detail of how to play. But if you're familiar with the Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion, I think that's what it's called. It's the same type of game. This one's a little more difficult, though, I would say, on the difficulty level. But it's going through the Goonies. So you have notebooks, you have books for each of the characters, data, Mikey, Brand, Mouth, Andy, Steph, Chunk, and Sloth. And they all have, most of them have different abilities. So Mikey's going to be exploring, and Andy uses things, Brand picks up things. There's also a bunch of envelopes that you can't open until the game tells you that you need to open them. Don't open them, Larry. Larry.
I feel like somebody needs to come in and say, "Hey,
You guys!" So the writing in this is very much in line with the movie. So there's a lot of storyline. There's a map that you're going to be starting with.
Ooh, there's something chunky in this one.
You can't open it.
I'm not opening it. I'm just
So is this an escape
just
room?
feeling.
Or is it?
This is like Christmas. I'm just feeling the packages.
It's like, what's this? What's this? So there is a deck of cards that you're going to solve clues and things, and it will tell you to draw a certain card, and then it's going to give you more information that you need for the clues. There's a doubloon. There's even a marker, because this map is kind of laminated, so you might need to
Take notes.
do certain things and interact with it.
Oh, I wonder if you have to like maybe track where you're going, or I don't know.
Oh, spoiler! If you know the movie,
sorry.
if you know the movie, that's going to be there. I would say this is an escape room game, so you're solving lots of puzzles. We know, Kevin and I know the movie very well, so some of the puzzles were like, oh, we kind of know what we need to do. I wouldn't say that you have to have knowledge of the movie to play, but some things may be a little bit more obvious or slightly easier if you know the storyline. One of the characters, Steph, her skill is explaining. So if you're kind of like, I don't really know what's going on here, you can use her. And in her booklet, it's going to give you a little more obvious, like kind of a bit of a hint, or explaining it a little bit more plainly. So if you haven't seen the movies, I think she's going to be helpful for
there it is.
figuring out things. But basically, each character, oh, Larry's looking at them.
Larry.
Each character can interact with things. I'll show the first map tile, since that's what you get at the beginning of the game. But there are different numbers, and each character has a number in front of them. So Mikey, if he wants to explore this, we're going to go in his book at 1201, read the entry, and then another character could go here, and they're going to have something slightly different that they would read. What is 1201?
It's like a maze, but it's made of pipes, whispered Mikey, fascinated with the intricate pipe system. Hey, Mouth, your dad's a plumber. Do you know anything about these pipes?
So that's basically saying maybe we need to go to Mouth's book, and he's going to have a little bit more about it. So this game is in 3 acts. So basically each act is about 45 minutes to an hour. You can decide to save your progress in an envelope if you don't want to play it all in one sitting. But yeah, escape room game with a lot of narrative based on the characters and the storyline. The Fratellis are chasing you. You don't want to get caught by them. Chunk and Sloth have like one of the acts where they are kind of doing things because they're separated from the group.
Oh, that makes sense.
Lots of different types of puzzles.
These are super cool. I played the Scooby-Doo one, and I really like that one.
Wow, yeah. And this has got all kinds of fun art on these envelopes. That's really neat.
So this is the Goonies Escape with One-Eyed Willie's Rich Stuff. Kevin and I really enjoyed this one with the different types of puzzles. There was one puzzle that I didn't really like. It was a little bit more physical where you had to do something. And it was just
yoga?
hard to do that. Yeah.
A yoga pose.
A yoga puzzle.
That would be very that would be very hard.
But overall, really enjoyed this one. Like the narrative aspects with it. It's going through the story. And like I said, I have a how to play video that goes a little bit more in depth without any spoilers.
Oh. That's impressive. No spoilers and an in-depth how to play.
Well, semi-in-depth, but you know. All right, we are now going back to the table and Llama Land.
Welcome to the table. I think Melissa's going to join me over here, but we are talking about Llama Land. This is a tile laying game with polyomino tiles. So you have all these different shaped tiles that you'll be placing on your own very own Llama Land. This is, I would say, a mixture of Barren Park plus Number 9. And the reason I say those two games, if you're familiar with any of those, is in Barren Park, which actually is from the same designer, Phil Walker Harding. You're building your own sort of, park in Barren Park.
And as you cover things, you get the benefits of what you cover.
But in Barren Park, it's pretty much just all one level. But in Llama Land, you actually can start doing like multiple levels to gain more resources and to build your own Llama Land. And as you do that, you're going to be placing these itty bitty llamas on your, and you're going to be feeding llamas throughout the game. So that's why I say Number 9, because Number 9 you're sort of stacking tiles on top of each other. So on your turn, what's really cool is all you need to do is grab any tile you want and you're going to place it in your Llama Land. Now you have two choices. You can either extend your land by placing it to the side, or you can place a tile on top, and that's called building. If you do a build on top, you're going to look at what you're covering up. So right here, I'm covering up 3 of these cocoa plants, and I would get 3 cocoa. Now, I set it up so this would actually happen.
Kevin set this up so he could do something.
So I actually already had a cocoa in my supply. On your turn, you can also feed llamas. So I have 3 cocoa, plus I already had 1, so I'm turning in 4 cocoa, and I'm going to take the top cocoa plant llama card, which then lets me feed a llama. When I feed a llama, you take any one llama, and you place it on an open area in your Llama Land. And it can't be on any other resource
has to be a field.
Yeah, icon. It's got to be a field. And there are things that you're trying to do with your llamas, and you're going to get end-game points, like if they're in different sets, or if they're next to each other, or things like that, or they're not next to each other, or they're far away from each other. So they're going to set up at the beginning of the game these end-game goals, so you're setting up your llamas in a way that will help you get more points. You also are getting points from feeding llamas, and it's...
The points descend.
Yeah, the points descend. There's also these village people that basically give you powers. I can trade corn in for cocoa, and it's like a one-time use per round. So it's basically you're exhausting them for that round, but then they come back to you.
Yeah, or if you cover at least 2 cocoa with a lay like Kevin did, you could get an extra cocoa. So if you had this card, you would have gotten 4 cocoa.
I would have.
On that lay.
Yep. And there's lots of different village people, and they just keep coming out, and you can use them. So yeah, you're getting points from the end game goals. You're getting points from feeding your llamas. Those are your main 2 ways of getting points. You can also get points for leftover resources and things like that. But
yeah, I enjoyed this one. Kind of the puzzle of when do I extend to make it bigger, when do I place on top, and there are rules that you can't put 2 on top of each other that are
exactly the same,
kind of like Number 9.
But you can build it so I can like cover my llama up here, and then I can set this one on top like that. So I'm starting to build like 3-4 layers high. So
yeah, but if this wasn't there, you can't put something over a hole. Oh yeah, you can build that first, and then
you can do that. Anyway, there's lots of different things that you can do with Llama Land. One note, if you research Llama Land online, Llama Land is one word. Don't put a space in between llama and land.
I know, on BGG I was trying to find it and I was having trouble, and then I squished them together and then it popped up on BGG.
So a little tidbit here for you all. So Llama Land, one word from Lookout Games. Check it out. We're going back to the couch.
Hey, so we are here and we are going to play
Bongo.
Ubongo.
I don't know.
Ubongo 3D. This is by Cosmos, and there are several other Bongo games, and this one is adding the 3D element. This is a very puzzly game, and there's a bit of a timing element. You're going to be competing against other players to try to build inside these
the little shapes.
Yeah, these little shapes.
You gotta fit the pieces in there.
Yeah, so what we will do first is it'll be rolling a dice, and then you check on your sheet. If 4 is rolled, I use these specific shapes. We're not using the timing element yet because we're not doing well with that. But then I would not use the additional shapes. I'd only be using these. You would start the timer, and then whoever figures it out first gets a blue
Boom.
gem.
Done.
What? Larry,
Winner!
you're such a cheater. All right, so if you would get a blue gem, I would continue to have time to try to figure it out.
You should hurry.
You call out Bongo.
You do call out
Bongo.
Bongo. I'm not doing well. I made a beautiful shape, but it's not the shape that's right here.
Nice square.
I know, this is terrible. It's harder than it looks.
So close.
No, can't do that one. So maybe I can do that one? No. Can I do that way?
And
anyway,
you can only make it 2 levels high.
Only
apparently.
2 levels. Yeah,
That's what I
only
was
2
told.
levels high. Larry, I feel like you're such a cheater. How'd you get it done
What do
so
you mean?
fast? Did you cheat?
Skills.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, but you try to figure it out. And before this, if I was the second one to get it done, I would get a brown gem, and then anybody who's able to finish before the timer runs out would get a gem out of the bag, and that includes the person who came in first and second. The gems are different colors and they're worth differing amounts. I think red is worth 4. So there's 4, 3, 2, and the brown ones are 1. So basically you'll play this and you do it for 9 rounds, and then the winner of after the 9th round will be the person who has the most gem value. There's a ton of cards available in different configurations. The green are the easy ones, and that's obviously where I need to reside. The backs of the green cards have yellow, which is the next stage up in difficulty. There's also orange, which is an additional one. You can see you'll be using a lot more of the shapes. And then on the back of the orange ones are red, where you're using, it looks like most or all of the shapes available. And they look like they go pretty crazy. Are you trying to figure mine out? I think I had a harder one.
This one does seem hard.
I told you, I think mine's hard. It's a luck of the draw. You don't know what it's going to be. If you're playing a game and nobody's able to figure out their puzzles before the timer runs out, you just flip it over and go again. And then everybody continues on. Ryan and I played, and there was one round where neither of us figured it out in the time allotted. So you just flip it over and go again. But once the first person has has finished and chosen the gem, that's it. Like, that timer's all that you have left to finish your puzzle in before you don't get a gem at all. So that is Bongo 3D. There is options for doing this solo player. I should say that as well.
Player.
Yeah, so you can just time yourself and try to beat your times. So that's available as well. This is ages 8 and up. I think that it seemed harder than I thought, but it's definitely a family-friendly and family-weight game. Yeah.
Got it!
You did it.
Bongo!
Bongo 3D by Cosmos, and we're heading back over to the table.
Hey, welcome to the table. We are going to be showing off the last game of today's Saturday show before we do our giveaways, and this is Bequest from Whiz Kids Games. Thank you, Katie. She's making sure you can see Melissa's head. This is an I Split, You Choose game where you are all trying to get the most riches so that you can become the ultimate supervillain because the guy died and you're basically splitting his riches up. So, anyway.
I always wanted to be a supervillain.
Yes, so you have to make sure you get their best stuff. So basically in a given round, so it's a sort of simultaneous play, you're going to be splitting up the cards that you have in your hand. And we're going to the right first.
All right.
Yep. So we're going to the right, so we're going to be placing our cards. Like you could do like a pack of 3 and a pack of 2. Or you could do a pack of 1 and a pack of 4. You can't have a pack of 0 and a pack of 5. It has to be at least one card. Nope, both on one set. Yep. So then you're going to look at the opposite side. So you place on the right, we're going to look to the left.
So I'm looking at these.
Yep.
Okay.
So you get to look at both stacks.
Keep the stacks separate. And, okay. Alright. And then you're going to choose, you have an A and a B. You're going to choose, on the stacks you looked at, you're going to choose the B stack or the A stack and you're going to put it face down.
So you don't know. So basically what's going to happen is whichever one I placed here, I'm going to take that stack, and Hannah, you get the other stack.
Oh, fantastic.
So, but you don't know which one.
You don't know how many cards I'm going to end up with.
Right.
Right. You don't know the exact combination. You're hoping, like, oh, I hope Kevin takes this stack so I get that stack.
Fantastic.
Yep, so then
now
you
we would
flip it over. So I asked for the B stack, you asked
I
for the
took
A,
A.
so then you're going to take the opposite stack. And then we're going to look at key cards. So basically...
Well, first you put everything down.
Put you down, sure. Put everything down.
In a tableau. And Hannah hasn't played, so she's just picking things.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't know what can be seen. I'll push this up a little bit.
Yeah. You're good.
I have a treasure. I get to put this face down in my treasure stack. The first card is worth 1. The second card is worth 2. The third card is worth 3. So it gets exponentially
Oh, that's what that
higher
meant. Okay.
with the treasures. I do have, evidence. Basically what's happened is this mastermind thief, mad scientist has died, and this is how he wants to separate his goods by all of his villainy friends fighting over him, basically.
Fantastic.
So, some evidence, if I get at least 3 of these, they're going to be negative 3 points each.
Oh.
1 right now doesn't do anything bad to me, but if I get more, they're going to be negative points.
So I want to make it look good, make you take it, and take more evidence. Got it.
All right, so keys.
Yes.
Whoa, Kevin.
So I got 2 of the 3 keys. So basically, in turn order, whoever has key number 1 would be able to get special powers. Key number 2 would get, and then key number 3 would also pick. Then you would do a second round with a whole new set of I Split You Choose, and you're basically continuing to add to your tableau. And then you're going to do that over 5 rounds.
Okay.
And then you're going to look at the end of the game. You know, you're going to get points. So for the power chords, if I can get 4 different power chords, I'll get $15.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So it's like set collection with these. You want the same symbol.
And then you have
the blue cards.
Then you have these influence cards.
Okay.
You're gonna look at your neighbors. If you have more than your both neighbors, you're gonna get $20.
For the Eastern Hemisphere.
Yep. And then if you have more than one player, you'll get 5.
And then the purple ones have a slightly different scoring, but again, you're looking compared to what your neighbors
This
have.
is interesting. So, like, you're really trying to give and take and want everything to be not too much power to one player or the other.
Yeah, because if you stack one like really good, the other player's probably going to take it, and you're going to be left with the stuff
and
that
you can
don't
also
want.
see what your neighbors are trying to go for and start stacking.
This is a really fun mechanic.
Yes,
Awesome.
I like the I Split You Choose mechanic. All right, so one thing we didn't mention is that at the beginning of the game, you become one of these villains, and you have special abilities that you can do throughout the game. Like this card is considered a scheme. This one doubles values. This happens during scoring. This helps you with the evidence cards. So basically, this one helps with your treasure. So all of them do different things throughout the game, and you basically can have a special power that's yours in the game.
Yeah, and if you want to play it without as much complexity, you don't have to add those in. Like maybe if you're just playing with kids, and don't
I
want
totally recommend playing.
But yeah, if you're playing with gamers, the special powers do.
Now we have it set up for a 3-player game, but you can play all the way up to 6 players. We actually played this at game night with community game night here in Greenville, South Carolina, with 6 players, and it worked out really well because it plays very fast because everyone's doing the same thing. You're splitting, and then you're taking. You're splitting. You're taking each round. So the number of players doesn't really add too much more to the time factor.
And I believe 3 to 6. So I don't think there are 2 players.
No, it's a 3 to 6 player game.
Because of the dynamics.
Right.
I will say, having never seen this game before and just looking at it, if you are a person who buys games just for the art, 100% this needs to go into your collection because the art and the little fantasy creatures and all of it is just utterly fantastic.
Yep, they did a pretty good job with it. So that's Bequest. I think we're going to head back to the couch and say goodbye and do our giveaways. Someone's got to find out who to give things away to.
Are you guys still playing Bongo over there? Katie's trying to beat Larry.
Okay. Bongo.
Sometimes it's a little bit easier than others. We're playing the really hard side.
We're playing on the red side now.
I don't know if you were here. Heard Larry kept yelling, "Bongo!" I was like, "Shh, Larry."
I'm winning.
I'm here.
We weren't playing with the time.
All right,
Oh,
is someone actually
giveaways.
looking at giveaways?
Giveaways. We need 4 names. We got one here with camels, one here with mugs, and
Oh, I got it.
And here's actually what it looks like all snapped together.
I got it.
And it like
Good job, Katie.
Bongo!
Good job, Katie. Yes, we actually have
and one with leaves.
a bunch of different designs. So the winners,
Scooching.
there'll be some way to figure out whether it's random or get to choose. Sarah's working through all those things. All right,
we wait
who's
for the
choosing
winner.
already?
Do you have any dice you can practice
play
on?
the
Oh,
Bongo.
right here.
Go ahead.
Here we go. 2.
I mean, you tell me if
Well,
you feel like
dice
that's good.
would only be able
There
to
you go,
get up to
6.
6.
There you go.
I don't know that anyone's actually looking at these things. Did
Huh?
someone say, Ryan, are you doing it? Kevin's not doing it. I'm not doing it.
What are we doing?
Picking a winner.
I
We
don't
need-
have my phone.
we need-
You have the. I will say.
4 winners.
I don't want that
Okay.
responsibility
All right,
of
fine.
picking
Pick a
the
number.
winners.
Larry, pick a number.
17.
We're very structured here and have.
Lonnie Stewart.
Hey, you're
All right,
welcome.
Katie, pick a number.
You got a green leafy one.
No, we're not telling them which one they get.
Oh, you got a random one.
Nishant
One of
Kumar.
these 4.
I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Nishant, congratulations,
Congrats.
Nishant.
Somebody write your
Kevin?
names down.
23.
I gotta hurry. Don't have time left.
She's working on
Larry's
it.
still playing Bongo.
Listen, it's pretty
Something
fun.
new.
It's hard.
Best
Did
of
you?
Star
You're
Trek.
on the hard
Yeah.
side.
No.
Next one? I can't see.
Counting's difficult in the morning. More
Lupi. Lupi. Lupi.
L-U-P-I.
L-U-P-I.
Congratulations!
Yeah! Congrats! All right, final one, Melissa.
18.
Okay.
I didn't want to say something like 60 and make her count forever.
Yeah.
Best at Star Trek.
Yay!
Oh, best at Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that was the handle, so I don't know what
Oh, did
Yeah.
you hear on the news that they're coming out with a Star Trek themed fantasy realms?
Yep.
So that was one of the news pieces on the most recent news show.
Yeah. Sophie calls your name. Please email Sarah at sarah@tantrumhouse.com.
Don't forget.
S-A-R-A.
Got it.
There we go. There's the plug.
All right, what else is happening, Kevin? What do we want to tell them
We
about?
do want to mention a couple other sponsors. Good Game Company, check out their stuff, and also Kids Table Board Gaming with Burnt Island Games. They have their Power Plants Kickstarter happening right now. I think it's got just maybe less than 2 weeks left. So check out Power Plants online. I think Will and Sarah did a overview video. If you want to learn more about the game, check out their Kickstarter page. Just type in Power Plants Kickstarter. It's about these fantastical plant-eating things, not like
You're
not-
like a witch, and you have a garden full of plants, and those plants give you special abilities, and so you have to choose which ones to activate.
But it's not like Power Grid, we're different power. Like
So it's nature themed, not industrial.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
I was-
plants that give you abilities.
Yes.
Actual like
Plants
flowers
that give
and
you
herbs.
powers.
Okay.
Yes.
Like Super
With
Mario
potions.
Brothers with the flame throwing.
Yes, the flame
flower.
flower. Yeah.
Ooh. Super Mario.
Uh,
Bongo. Got it.
So a couple things happening this week. We have a special news show coming Monday from Will and Jonah. It's going to be the Toy of the Year Awards, which is a basically a big thing out there. The Toy Foundation has does this every year. We're doing the games category, so check out the news show. It's a special edition news show about the Toy of the Year Awards. And then I believe we have other things coming this week as well.
We do have other things.
Yes.
coming.
lots of things.
They're
Lots of
existing.
things.
I'm
Check
planning
out
on
the
grocery
YouTube
shopping.
channel.
Yes.
I
The
believe we have.
exciting week.
So we have 2 viewpoints we're currently working on.
Oh yes.
2 viewpoints. One is Seven Wonders Architects, which is a new standalone Seven Wonders game, and then we also are doing That Time You Killed Me from Pandasaurus. So 2 different viewpoint videos
Coming
coming
soon.
very soon, probably in the next week or 2. So check those out.
Yep.
Anyway,
No, it's impossible.
any questions, comments?
Put the ribbon.
Yep. Well, Corlu's on and just answered one of the questions. Thank you, Corlu, for
Yes.
doing that. And Ryan just also posted as well
Ryan's in the
about
background.
where to email for the prizes.
Thank you.
So,
Very
Sarah
much.
at Tantrum House. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye
Thanks for
guys.
joining.
Happy Saturday.
And happy November.
I agree.
Well, I think we managed sort of. I'm guessing
There's a
we had a
couple
few
sound
technical
issues, but-
issues.
Well,
There
it
was
was.
something with the stream.
It wasn't nearly as bad as all the cameras dying.
Yeah, there wasn't.